Hey, how's everybody doing? I know I was missing in action for a while. I had a situation a couple of weeks ago where I had to just drop everything. It was a lot of stuff I needed to do, a lot of stuff I needed to clean up, but now I'm getting everything back on track. I'm slowly getting everything back on track. So now I'm back, and the reason I'm talking right now is because I want to tell you about the video that I'm about to present to you next about the chemtrail. When I written this video, it was a couple of weeks ago, and luckily I did that because now when I went back to the website for reference, the whole page is deleted. The website is they just took it off. The address is still there, but the PDF is no longer there. Luckily, I was able to write my outline before that happened. I just wish I was able to download the PDF because I'm surprised that it was. I was surprised that they actually posted that, and I should have known it was going to stay up there long. But since it's been up there for a couple of months, I just thought it was still going to be up there. So that's the background story on that. So this is the information, and I'm not making none of this stuff up. This is what I read, and I do have screenshots from another video where I seen the link from, well, not the link, but I seen the information. I had to search for the link to find it, and it was kind of hard to find. So if you can find it, it's good to keep it because it does give you a lot of information on what's going on, what they're doing, why they're spraying, and it's a 50-year plan. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and it's a lot of stuff I need to do. It's a lot of work, a lot of things in the work that I have to do, but it's a lot of stuff in my personal life that I have to do too. So bear with me if things gonna be a little bit slow, but I'm back, I'm rolling, so enjoy. Originally started in the United States during the period of 1991 to 2000, showing positive results by decreasing the warming by 70 to 80% over the entire continent. Yeah, that was a trick. Granted, it cooled the continent down by blocking the sun, but the heat that was coming from the earth also had a place to escape by way of the large open space that wasn't sprayed. World Health Organization was engaged in a project to watch over this aspect, and thus the project was internationally approved and started the global application beginning over the Antarctic in 2000 to cool the air and to slow the melting of the ice mountains. Interesting that they started over the Antarctic. Once they got the approval to cover the entire planet, all they was doing was making an envelope like a baked potato wrapped in foil. Now the heat from the earth has no place to escape, which caused record heat waves because they were trying to melt the ice in Antarctica. And 21 years later, instead of slowing the melting of the ice, it seems to accelerate it, and at the same time making all these new discoveries by this fortunate mishap. In 2000, the UN approved the first global weather engineering project in the history of mankind to combat the global warming by ChemTrail technology. In their words, so much for conspiracy. For the period from 2000 to 2050, approximately 2 human generations. At least now we have a time frame. With a budget of $50 billion US, $1 billion a year, financed and completely managed by the United States alone. Makes you wonder why it was approved by the UN. It's not costing them any money. It's financed and completely managed by the United States alone. This is one of the things I can't understand, how people can't see these are corporations working together, working against you. The PDF states since the application took place on a global level, climatologists, biologists, agronomists, and medical institutions around the globe recorded and explained undesirable side effects of this technology with severe impact on the weather, natural resources of flora and fauna, as well as on human health. What most of us already figured out. Let's see what the study revealed. Health effects includes pneumonia-like respiratory symptoms that could confuse people believing they have COVID, frequent headaches, sinus congestion, asthma, various allergic reactions, inflammation of binding tissues, mental confusion, depression, unknown ear infections, stomach aches, temporary loss of memory, different Alzheimer's syndrome, most likely from the aluminum, which includes calcification diseases, calcification of the heart valves and tooth plaque. It doesn't say, but how much you want to bet pineal gland is included in there. This is their own report from climatologists, biologists, agronomists, and medical institutions. Mortality increased amongst aged persons and infants by 25%. Why did that sound familiar? Climate aspect, creation of completely new wind directions, charging giant air electric fields leading to more lightning that induce wildfires in dehydrated forests and rangeland, and most likely where HARP comes in. Cooling upper air layers over warm waters causing hurricanes, tornadoes, and building heavy snow and hail. Creation of extreme killer heat waves when reflecting heat back to Earth by aluminum oxide. Equivalent is being inside of an aluminum ball like the baked potato I mentioned. Increasing human mortality in proportion to decreased air visibility. Most of the health issue lies in the one ingredient I keep talking about when I'm on this subject, barium. In one of my videos, I mentioned that barium long-term effect by a specialist is lung damage. According to the report on barium, barium is toxic to human because it's soluble in the gastrointestinal tract. Barium is often used for spark plug electrodes and vacuum tubes as a drying and oxygen removing agent. Let's think about this for a second. Oxygen removing agent, combined with the destruction of trees that give us oxygen, double the quadrupling of face masks to limit more oxygen, sounds like a slow suffocation process. Continuing, small amounts of water-soluble barium may cause a person to experience breathing difficulties, increased blood pressures, heart rhythm changes, stomach irritation, muscle weakness, changes in nerve reflexes, swelling of the brains and liver, kidney and heart damage. Barium has not shown to cause cancer with humans. Barium carbonate does not dissolve in water, but it does dissolve in the stomach. It can also cause harmful health effects. Eating or drinking very large amounts of barium compound that dissolve in water or in the stomach can cause changes in heart rhythm or paralysis in humans. That's the second time they said humans. What are they trying to say? The PDF states you should drink lots of fluids and eat high fiber foods to help move the barium through your digestive tract and out of your body. If that doesn't help, your doctor might give you a laxative to help move it through. After your procedure, you might notice your bowel movements are lighter in color. This is me speaking. ChemTrails is a multi-purpose formula. One use in particular, aluminum, contrary to popular beliefs, is heating up the planet and using global warming as a cover. To give you a better understanding, let's start with the end of Operation High Jump. In February 1947, the United States got their asses handed to them by what was reported as flying saucers. Coincidentally, June 21st of that same year, Seaman Harold Dow claims to have seen 6 unidentified flying objects near Maury Island in Puget Sound, Washington. The next morning, Dow reports the first modern so-called Men in Black encounter. Interesting. Even more coincidences. A month later in July, the more well-known flying saucer crashes at Roswell. It seems the Roswell weather balloon crash may have been from here all along. I said aliens have already been here, but I didn't think the Roswell incident was one of them. Amazing what you find when you start digging into half of stories. In that same month, U.S. President Harry S. Truman signs the National Security Act of 1947 into law to create the Central Intelligence Agency, the Department of Defense, the Joint Chief of Staff, and the National Security Council. Remember, this is all over a weather balloon. In September, the National Security Act of 1947 becomes effective, creating the United States Air Force, National Security Council, and the Central Intelligence Agency. The Department of War becomes the Department of the Army, a branch of the new Department of Defense. A lot of stuff happened in 1947, all over a weather balloon. Between November 17 and December 23rd that same year, John Bardeen, and if I'm saying his name right, Walter Bertain, working under William Shockley at AT&T Bell Labs in the United States, demonstrate the transistor effect, a key element for electronics revolution of the 20th century. Most likely got the idea from the wreckage of that weather balloon. In January 1948, Mantell UFO incident. Kentucky Air National Guard pilot Thomas Mantell crashes while in pursuit of an unidentified flying object. Okay, it appears the Wasp nest was disturbed. May of that same year, the RAND Corporation is established. It's funny that all these things could be connected to that crashed weather balloon in Roswell in 1947, all beginning right after High Jump. So apparently world leaders worked out a deal with our newfound neighbors and come up with the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. The Antarctic Treaty was signed in Washington on December 1st, 1959 by 12 countries whose scientists have been active in and around Antarctica during the International Geophysical Year of 1957 and 58. It entered into force in 1961 and since has been acceded to many other nations. The total number of parties to the treaty is now 54. It may be more now, I don't know. Another reason I believe a deal has been worked out by the aliens there is because no firearms or explosives are allowed there without special permission. All the country bases are open to inspection by other countries at any time. That's a good way to keep everyone transparent. So why am I telling you this story? Around 20 years after the initial global spraying, real time today, many discoveries including pyramids have recently been uncovered. World leaders all decide to take vacation there at the same time. The Russian drilling team breaks through 2 miles of ice to reach a freshwater lake underneath. The overlaying ice provides a continuous paleoclimate record of 400,000 years, although the lake water itself may have been isolated for 25 million years. Keep that number in mind. Lake Vostok is one of the largest lakes on Earth in size and volume, rivaling Lake Ontario in North America. The lake itself is 143 miles, 230 kilometers long, 31 miles, 50 kilometers wide, and as much as 2,625 feet, 800 meters deep. Lake Vostok sits near the South Pole in East Antarctica. They also found magnetic anomalies around this lake, leaving some to believe that the lost city of Atlantis is buried below the surface.
Number 2. Atlantis. It took a team of Russians 20 years to drill through nearly 2 miles of ice to discover this freshwater lake under the surface that holds more than 3,500 kinds of living bacteria isolated for the last 20 million years. Lake Vostok is almost the size of Lake Ontario, and mysteriously they have found remarkable magnetic anomalies around this lake, perhaps from something buried below the surface. Many suspect metals from a lost civilization. Many even believe it to be the legendary resting place of Atlantis, now buried under 2 miles of ice.
Not sure if they mean the surface of the lake or the ice. Apparently Antarctica is not Atlantis, but on top of it. Now this is very interesting because if it really is Atlantis down there, that would mean it's more than 20 million years old. Think about those star forts. The continued research by Russian and British scientists led by 1993 to the final confirmation of the existence of the lake by J.P. Riley using ERS-1 laser atometry. The confirmation of the lake existence was in 1993, the same year HART went under construction. The treaty is set for a standard review in 2048, which could present an opportunity to modify a ban on resource extraction, including mining and oil drilling. Russia and China both want to relax the existing prohibitions, whatever that means. It's no guessing why they might want to review the treaty in 2048. It would be the end of spring and all the ice would most likely be melted where they could really see what's out there. The question now is, where is all that water going? Well, I hope this video gives you a little insight of what they spraying, what damage it causes, and how long they've been doing it and how long it's going to go, because I had no idea they was going to delete that page, that PDF page, because it's been up for a couple of months. I just seen it a couple of weeks ago. And if I'd known that, I would have just downloaded it. I should have known, because it was kind of odd that they put that information out like that. And it was just itching me. So I should have just downloaded it. But at least I got a screenshot for you from the Real Merkabah, where I seen it originally, where he talked about it, and I had to search for it and find it because it was kind of hard to find. But that just gives you an idea of what's going on in a time frame, so you know this video will risk getting blocked or cut or deleted. You know what I'm saying. Special thank you to all my supporters. I really appreciate you. I really do. Thank you so much. And to everybody else, thank you for watching, and thank you for sharing your time with me. One more thing. I want to give a shout out to Patreon supporter Natalie. She found the link to that PDF. Apparently I had some characters off a little bit. I don't know how I did that, but thank you, Natalie. I really appreciate that. You the bomb. I will provide that link in the description in case you want to check it out, and I highly recommend that you do, or at least download it so you can read it later, because it does provide a lot of information, and it's good to have just in case, so you know what's going on and you be ahead of the curve. So again, thank you, Natalie. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.